economic hitmen have managed to create the world's first truly global empire. And it's basically a secret empire. We do it in many ways, but principally we identify a country that has resources our corporations covet, like oil, arrange a huge loan to that country from the World Bank or one of its sisters. The money never actually goes to the country. It goes to our own corporations to build big infrastructure projects in that country that help a few very wealthy people, but don't benefit the majority of the people who are too poor to buy electricity or have cars to drive on the highways, and yet they're left holding a huge debt that they can't repay. So we go back at some point and say, you know, you can't pay your debts. Give us a pound of flesh, sell your oil real cheap to our oil companies. Vote with us on the next critical UN vote. Allow us to build a military base in your backyard. Something along these lines. And when we fail, the jackals go in and either overthrow or assassinate these leaders. And if the jackals fail, as they did in Iraq, then they'll be sent into the military. I don't think the failure is capitalism. I think it's a specific kind of capitalism that we've developed. We've created what I consider a mutant, viral form of capitalism. And this mutant form of capitalism, which I think is really a predatory form of capitalism, has created an extremely unstable, unsustainable, unjust, and very, very dangerous world. I've met a lot of terrorists. I've interviewed them for books. I've never met one who wanted to be a terrorist. They're desperate people. If we want to get rid of terrorism, we must get rid of the root causes, that cancer that is destroying our whole system. Because I think it's really important that we understand today we cannot have homeland security unless we understand that the whole planet is our homeland.
Pemimpin dan juga rakyat haruslah menggariskan cara yang betul untuk mendapatkan harta benda dengan cara yang halal. Seterusnya, menentukan cara hidup yang betul untuk membelanjakan harta, seperti tidak membazir, menindas serta tidak menzalimi yang lain. Akhir sekali, mengamalkan sistem ekonomi terancang yang bukan berasaskan keuntungan maksimum semata-mata.
Money used to be about you and me. Throughout human history, money in one form or another has helped societies to evolve through trade and innovation. In the last few hundred years, though, money has gone from being a tool to being the centre, the very purpose of our collective life. And this has happened as we adopted capitalism as the global economic model. The number one rule of capitalism is this: make more capital. The logic behind this rule is that capital makes all other things possible. With capital, which is just money and property in various forms, you can get food, housing, healthcare, a college education. Sounds good, right? The problem is, the way we make a lot of our capital is to extract value from the natural world and each other. We call this extraction value creation, and it works like this. You cut down a tree, make a chair, sell a chair in the market and collect value in the form of money. So you get the money and your customer gets a chair, but what does nature get? Now multiply that tree to a lost wood, a lost rainforest and an oil field many times over, and it explains in part why we have climate change. We are turning so many natural resources into money. Our methods treat the people doing the hardest, most dangerous work as disposable units of production. In the interest of making ever-increasing amounts of money, we are undermining the foundations of life. Most of the money made is going to a tiny number of people. 8 men now control as much wealth as the poorer half of the world's population combined. In other words, the majority of us are expected to spend our lives working to create money we will never see. We now live in a financialized world in which the power to create money is held by privately owned multinational banks, in which the needs of the earth that sustains us are treated as barriers to the infinite growth of our stocks of capital, in which the economic rules push more and more money upwards away from the majority. So money is no longer about you and me. If you think we should treat money as a tool, not a god, if you believe that the logic of the future should instead be about you and me and everybody, if you believe the most sacred value should be afforded not to money, but to life, then the chances are you don't agree with capitalism. And my friend, you are not alone. Evidence from around the world suggests that there are now millions, if not billions, of us feeling the same way. We can build new systems to replace this dying one. We can reclaim the future. We can change the rules.
Isu kapitalisme ialah roda kedudukan. Dunia ini akan terus ada golongan penguasa dan juga golongan tertindas. Di Malaysia, negara kita mengamalkan sistem ekonomi campuran, iaitu satu sistem ekonomi hasil daripada campuran di antara sistem kapitalis dan sistem sosialis. Melalui sistem ini, kerajaan dan pihak swasta bekerjasama untuk membentuk satu pasaran yang lebih adil.